Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro-Negro channel. If you're new here, please follow, like, and share on all platforms. YouTube viewers, subscribe below. Turn on notifications by clicking the bell and leave a cool like on the video. We're here thanks to the Million Picks sponsorship, and a new week has already started. There are amazing prizes every day, man. You choose which ones you want to participate in. You buy points from the Benefits Club and exchange them for products and experiences. And you compete for prizes every day, and to top it off, there's the main prize. Besides all these upcoming days, there are prizes tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. There are prizes every day in the coming days, starting Monday, and on the 16th, 1 million rees. So secure your Million Picks right now. You exchange your products, your experiences, and you still compete for prizes. And to top it off, you also have instant prizes of up to 20,000 rees. Win instant prizes. Scratch and receive picks straight to your account. Join the Million Picks Benefits Club now for many prizes. And I'm here to remind you that you can now become a partner of Zico. Did you know that? It's there in the pinned comment in the description, the contact for you to talk to the people who are developing the house. The Zico house will be amazing. It's a Zico-themed house. I can't give too many details, but just so you have an idea. Hey, check this out. This would be a themed house, right? With several souvenirs from Zico's titles and everything else in Orlando. So you're traveling to enjoy the parks and spend time with your family. Instead of staying in a Marvel house, a themed house, for example, Star Wars and so on, you'll be staying in a Zico-themed house. Man, all of this is spectacular. You can also take part at this stage of fundraising where you can become a partner and investor. Along with Galinho de Quintino, look, we also have our other sponsors. In the pinned comment, I also want to remind you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications by clicking the bell. Leave that cool like, as I already asked, and sharing is very important. Share it in your WhatsApp groups, send it to everyone. And we're bringing a lot of information to you here. I want to thank Flavella here once again. Thank Flavella Official who made this art of Zico for us. Flavella Official, really great guy. We're always together. Look, Official, we have information here and I'm going to tell you. It's actually absurd, right? It's absurd to think about this situation. Because the guy, Zenit, thinks Flamengo is going to agree to negotiate any player with them, remembering that Zenit only signed Gerson because they paid the release clause. Flamengo set a somewhat accessible release clause, but it was actually a pretty high amount. Now they're asking more for Gerson than they paid Flamengo. Cruzeiro is ready to pay more than Flamengo got from Zenit for him. If Flamengo had set a low release clause for a Brazilian club, some team would have signed Gerson. They always copy Flamengo, and now it's happening with Gerson too. But Zenit always makes negotiations with Flamengo difficult and now wants to sign one of Flamengo's main players. They want to sign Pedro. According to Turkish journalist Ekrem Konur, Zenit is planning a move for Pedro and may offer up to 30 million euros to Flamengo. We're talking about the current exchange rate here. To let you know, take a look. I'll show you now, okay? Zenit. 196 million reais at the current exchange rate. That's basically the amount Flamengo was trying to sign Caio Jorge for. But Flamengo won't accept it. Flamengo won't accept it. The information coming from the Turkish journalist is that it would be a replacement in case Maxim Grushenkov is sold in the January transfer window, according to Ekrem Konur's report. The Russian club may offer 25-30 million euros for the red and black striker, who is still highly valued internationally. So let me tell you that I spoke with a source connected to the board who confirms what I said. Some had already said Flamengo wouldn't go. BAP himself said that Flamengo wasn't going to sell players considered starters. So selling Pedro is out of the question. I checked once again with a source close to the board who assured me Pedro is not being sold. They can do whatever they want. Pedro is not leaving Flamengo. Flamengo will. In fact, now, after the first signings of the transfer window, Flamengo will already start talking to Pedro about a possible contract renewal. So nothing has been done regarding Zenit's offer, whether it's 25 or 30 million euros, 196 million rees. Flamengo is not going to sell. Look at that. According to the information, at least that's what they're telling us, okay, guys? Information from Res Press Agency. Morocco has a great chance of hosting the 2029 Club World Cup. Flamengo is the first Brazilian club and the first from South America to secure a spot in it. Flamengo is South America's first club to qualify for this World Cup. In this Club World Cup, that 32-team World Cup, right? So Flamengo, when they won the Libertadores, they secured a spot in the 2029 Club World Cup. The agency says Morocco has a strong chance to host the 2029 Club World Cup. The country is already set to host the national team's World Cup in 2030, so it makes sense, right? The Club World Cup was in the United States. The national team's World Cup, the World Cup this year, is in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Then the Club World Cup in Morocco, and later the 2030 World Cup in Morocco. It makes a lot of sense, okay? So the Interclub tournament, which is the biggest on the planet, would work as a kind of test event. And this could make Federation Internationale de Football Association always use it this way, you know, this pattern, to always hold the Club World Cup at the club that's going to host the national team's World Cup. Okay? Look, let me talk about two situations. About South American Football Confederation, I saw some information that South American Football Confederation is considering making changes to the game schedule. Right? About the venues for the Venezuelan team's matches in the Copa Libertadores, because of the situation with Maduro and everything else. Hey guys, I checked with a source connected to South American Football Confederation, and they're not considering any of that yet because they're on break. If anything is decided later, fine, but for now they haven't decided yet. Regarding the situation with Venezuela, there are Venezuelan clubs, and if necessary, something can be done, but at this moment, they haven't defined anything. And of course, they believe that by the start of the Libertadores, everything will be calmer. We don't know if it will really be calm. The point is that at this moment, they still aren't deciding anything. But regarding Renan Moura's information, that's it. South American Football Confederation fined Flamengo $58,000 for returning late from halftime in the Copa Libertadores final against Palmeiras. That's a department that works. That department hasn't had a break yet then. The penalty also takes into account an argument involving supervisor Gabriel Skinner and players and staff members from Palmeiras. The executive was warned by the South American entity, and because of that, Flamengo received a fine of $58,000, which is about 300,000 reais. South American Football Confederation has always been issuing its punishments with fines and everything else. It's already a common situation for South American Football Confederation to fine the clubs. Look, I'm bringing you some important information now, also related to the transfer market. And what I think is important for us to talk about here is the portals, the channels. European influencers discuss Tottenham, like the Tottenham Transfer News profile, right? And many others, right? The Boy Hotspur, right? Also profiles discussing European and English football, Tottenham and more. They're saying that Tottenham is very close, right? They've started talks and already have a chance to sign Lucas Paquetá from West Ham. There's no official information, but there are rumors that it's believed West Ham is open to selling Lucas Paquetá for £26 million, about 29 million euros. In January, they don't mention it here, but I read in some other sources that it wouldn't be a sale. In this case, they don't have that thing about keeping part of the rights, right? What can be done is the 29 million euros plus another player involved in the deal. Or you could have a capital gain, right? That happens often. The information cites 29 million euros. What a source connected to the international market told me is that they think it's impossible for Lucas Paquetá to leave for just 29 million euros. From West Ham to Tottenham, right? To an opponent, to a national rival, do you think it's hard for that to happen? But it's 29 million euros. And what this person told me is the following. It's within the amount Flamengo has to spend. Isn't it worth Flamengo making a move for Lucas Paquetá? I'll let you answer. You, Flamengo fan, answer. Is it worth signing Lucas Paquetá? These rumors mention 29 million if that's the amount, if we're talking about that amount without involving any other player, more like a swap. Or if there's any Flamengo player that interests West Ham and Flamengo can pay 29 million euros plus a player, it might be worth it. What do you think? Honestly, I see Paquetá as a great chance to sign while he's still young. If the amount really is 29 million euros, Flamengo should try to sign Lucas Paquetá. I'm sure it would be a great gift for the nation and Flamengo fans would love it. If the deal is like that, regardless, I think a player is involved, even though they don't mention it and maybe it's an expensive one. Flamengo could include a young, promising player in this deal and bring Lucas Paquetá. What do you think? Would you agree with this possibility? The other information, also from Turkish journalist Ekrem Konur, is that former Flamengo player Gerson has reached an agreement with Cruzeiro to sign the contract. In the last few days, we reported that Gerson was really going to Cruzeiro, information that we gathered, and I even talked to Gerson's father. He said he was close to closing the deal with Cruzeiro. Marcão even arrived there in Minas Gerais and said he had to ask Zenit, doing his own marketing. Marcão has gone to Minas Gerais to talk to Cruzeiro and also manages his son's business. So Gerson is really closing with Cruzeiro, and then that information came out a few days ago that he tried to close with Flamengo before and all that, so he wouldn't look bad. Him. The Russians wanted 40 million euros, but the price was lowered. Negotiations are expected to continue for a few more days. But they're getting close to reaching an agreement to sign the contract. It's very close now, according to Ekrem Konur, to signing a contract. Okay, so there's a lot of transfer market news, a lot going on. Look at Flamengo. According to our friend Flazuero and the folks at Flabazi, Flamengo has agreed to sign two promising players from Villanova to strengthen their under-17 team. It's important for us to mention here that these are promising players, right? Flamengo spent 700,000 reais to sign midfielder Raimundo Icaro and forward Heitor from Villanova. Known as Indio Raimundo Icaro, one of the youngest Serie B debutants, he cost 600,000 for 60% of his economic rights, a higher price due to his time with the professional team. Okay, let me just fix this here. Then Heitor was acquired for 100,000 for 50% of the rights with an option to buy another 20% for 550,000 reais, okay? Both have signed contracts with Flamengo. So that's also important information for us to bring to you. We also had the defender Danilo being honored by Juventus this Saturday at Allianz Stadium before the match against Lecce for the Italian Championship. The 34-year-old defender, who played for 5.5 seasons at the Turin club, was cheered by the fans on his return to the stadium 1 year after his departure. Before the match, Danilo greeted fellow Brazilian Bremer, a starting Juventus defender and Flamengo player, and praised the Italian club's current management. He used his return to Turin to criticize the directors behind his difficult departure. At that time, Thiago Motta was also the coach, right? He announced that he wasn't counting on the defender for the rest of the 24 and 25 season. For those who thought that if Felipe didn't stay at Flamengo, Thiago Motta would come, I saw this on GLOBO and everything. I even asked Flamengo's directors and they told me no, Flamengo already knows and won't sign. Flamengo will not sign Thiago Motta. It's great to have the opportunity to see you all again after such a busy year. I really wanted to come back to thank you all in person for all the support. I was away for a year, but no one can take this jersey out of my heart. When asked if he would consider returning to Juventus someday, Danilo said he has 1 more year on his contract with Flamengo, but he did not rule out coming back. In some role, off the field. I've already mentioned he has this quality. He's very intelligent off the field and could be a coach, right? He says he'll return to Juventus in a new role after retiring from the pitch. So Danilo confirming that he will return to Juventus even in another role, is 34, has 1 more year on his contract, should retire, and then he's saying that he will return to Juventus but in another role. I hope that Danilo also thinks, as a Flamengo fan, about coaching Flamengo in the future. All right, is that it? We'll be back early tomorrow. Please subscribe, enable bell notifications, and leave a like on the video. Greetings, Jubileros. This is Flamengo. I'm out.